What's up top 10 fam, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. A lot of you guys liked my whole back on my bullshit thing, so maybe that could be my new intro. Dreams could mean a lot of things. I truly believe some dreams reflect your subconscious like Freud said, some dreams are signs and some are actually just nonsense and mean nothing at all. But the scariest part in all of that is when your dreams actually end up happening. You get that deja vu sinking feeling where you're like, wait a hot second right now, I've seen this before. So why don't we join hands in solidarity and hear the unfortunate stories of those who have had that happen to them and be entertained because it didn't happen to us. Yay, love it. And also shout out to one of our subscribers, the weird one for today's video idea. You rock. Either way, these are the top 10 scary dreams that came true. Starting us off with number 10 is the child molester. Here we go people. Always gotta start off strong. Either way, this one's from Reddit user WorldBlender who said her daughter was the one that had the dream or dreams. When her daughter was 16, she'd have reoccurring dreams about a man doing disgusting things to children. And mind you, she'd never seen or met this man but could describe him to a T. Long hair, skinny, 30 or 40 years old, dirty, and so on. The dreams kept happening, but she just brushed it off until one fateful day. She was with her mum as they went to pick up her brother from a friend's house, and as he got into the car, the girl saw a man walk out of a house a few doors along. The daughter just had a complete breakdown, crying and screaming, saying that that was the man from her dreams and to lock the doors and just leave straight away. Neither kid had seen the man before, and apparently he had moved in a few months beforehand, but no one had really even seen him leave the house. Already quite shady. Fast forward a few days, it was a huge news story about a child sex ring, and surprise surprise, the same man they saw was involved. If you want to Google it and verify the legitimacy of the story, his name was Harry Robbs, and the story happened in Clovis, New Mexico back in 2003. Fact check me bitch. Coming in at number 9 is the stalker. So this story was shared by Lizzie Bordens, who said when she was a teenager she used to have a reoccurring dream in which a noise outside her bedroom window would wake her up. When she looked outside the window, still in this dream, a faceless man would just be standing there watching her. Years later, Lizzie ended up getting a stalker, and he would call her house phone all the time screaming obscenities, and since he only lived a few houses away from her, he'd come to her house as well. Some nights he'd just be at her bedroom window making noise outside, and when she'd look there, obviously she would see a man with a face, not a faceless man. He'd have flowers for her or be throwing something at the window. I mean, Romeo, that is just not the way to her heart. Try a different approach, maybe not stalking. Either way, he eventually did stop stalking her, but the dreams continued, but in place of a faceless man, it was now an alligator. And since the first variation of the dream came true, I really hope the second doesn't, because we don't need to be dealing with alligators after dealing with a stalker. Like, we've been through enough, thank you and goodbye. At number 8 we have the crash. Now this one's from Redditor Ostjamar, who said they had a premonition sort of dream that came true hours after they dreamt it. In their dream, they were in a field looking at the sky, and in it they saw a fireball falling to earth with a smoke trail behind it. Pieces of it were coming off left, right, and center, and a man on the radio was saying, "Do not touch any pieces of the spacecraft that may crash to earth due to potential radiation contamination." And then the user woke up a few minutes later. Dun dun dun, what happens next? When they woke up, it was about 2:30 AM in the morning, and they had a cheeky water and bathroom break before getting back into bed. They couldn't fall asleep, so they put the radio on to listen to, hoping that would do the trick. Hours later, they woke up hearing the exact same voice from their dream on the radio, saying similar things to the dream. Thinking, what the hell is happening? Did I just dream the same dream again? They turned on the TV and saw that the space shuttle Columbia had disintegrated while re-entering Earth's orbit. So that fireball in the dream ended up being Columbia. Mind blown. Filling on number 7 slot is the friend. So this one's from an anonymous Reddit user who said he moved school when he was about 8 or 9 years old. Halfway through the year, his new teacher told him that everyone had to clean the classroom up since a new student would be joining the next day. That night, the user had a dream that one of his old friends from his previous school was joining, but that a few weeks later he just stopped coming to school. The next day, lo and behold, the new student was in fact the user's friend, and they had a cute little reunion of sorts. A month later, the friend randomly just stopped coming to school. A few weeks later, he showed up once and then never came back. When the user got older, he found out that his friend had actually died. He had had heart problems since birth, low oxygen levels all his life, so his time had been limited, and it scared the hell out of the user that he had had a dream about it before it happened. And I mean, technically you didn't dream about him dying, mate, you just dreamed about him disappearing, but I mean, I'll give you that. It was 90% accurate. Now at number 6 is the uncle. This one is short and sweet, except it's not sweet at all, so it's just short. Either way, Redditor DuckDuckRee said he had a dream that his mum got a call from his aunt saying his uncle had died. When he woke up a few hours later, he was terrified because for some reason, reality just felt off. Something didn't feel right, and his suspicion was confirmed a few minutes later when he walked into his parents' room and found his mum crying on the phone. She had just got the news that the user's uncle had been murdered. Can you imagine waking up from a dream like that, being low-key relieved that it was a dream, and then minutes later realizing, shit, my dream is frickin' reality. Coming in at number 5 is the rotten baby. So this one's from Reddit user Solace and Misery, who said they dreamt they were exploring an abandoned house, and after going through room after room, they found a couple that used to attend the same church as them. The scene was cute considering the creepy setting. The woman had a baby in her arms, but as the user got closer, they realized the baby was decayed, like it looked rotten as if it had been dead for a long time. Yet somehow it was still screaming. The user later woke up and thought the dream was just a random ass one that you just have from time to time, and it was just like, whatever. But a month later, the user was at a Bible study group when the woman from the couple announced that they were expecting their first child but had had a miscarriage. The dream of the rotten, decaying baby the user had was very much a creepy premonition that very much came true. At number 4 is the nose. A man was partly on vacation and partly on a work trip, and the night before his flight home, he had a bad dream. In the dream, the plane crashed horribly, yet he somehow survived and concluded the plane crashed because of the nose of the plane. Again, he probably wouldn't have survived, but dreams always defy the laws of life, evidently, so okay. Either way, the next morning he was anxiety-filled on his way to the airport because of the dream. I mean, who wouldn't be? He debated changing flights, but he had to catch that one in order to be back for a certain time. Now once he boarded, he noticed it was taking longer than usual for the plane to take off. About an hour later, the pilot spoke into the intercom saying they were checking on something that could be wrong with the nose of the plane. His anxiety was at a peak at this point, as it was the whole flight back, but thankfully it didn't crash, he survived, and the nose was fixed. But honestly, if that had been me, the first thing I would have said when I got on the plane was, hello, check the nose, I had a dream. I'm not taking any goddamn chances. I swear to God, I'm not trying to die. Honestly, I fly so much, but I low-key hate it because they're always super long flights back home, like 15 hours, and I legit think I'm gonna die every time there's any turbulence, so I'm just not about it, really. Filling our number 3 slot is the boy. This one's from Reddit user KTG4, who said his sister is the one that had this dream. Basically, the dream itself was pretty short. She dreamt a boy in their neighborhood got killed, and that's about it. Mind you, the sister had never seen the boy, never met him, she didn't even know his name. Like, this boy wasn't even on the periphery of her radar. Just like irrelevant. Either way, literally 2 days later, there was a ton of news coverage about her neighborhood, and it turns out it was about the boy from her dream. He was actually her mum's friend's son, and he had been stabbed to death. Imagine being right about someone getting killed when you don't even know them, and then also the guilt of not saying anything when you should have, but then again, why would you? People have death dreams all the time, rarely ever do they come true. But sometimes, just sometimes, they do. Now at number 2 is the car accident, and this one's from Redditor SubD54, who said she had a dream about a car crash a few years ago, and a few months later it happened. The dream happened, and then fast forward a few months, she was getting into her ex's car when she had this really bad feeling that made her want to put her seatbelt on, which she never usually did. Okay, let me just stop the story right here by saying never forget to put your seatbelt on. It literally takes 1 second. It can make the difference between life and death. Do not be stupid, you guys. And yes, I'm calling the user stupid for not doing it before, but hey, at least you did it in this instant. Wear your seatbelt. Thank you, this has been a PSA. Either way, they start driving, start talking, etc., and they end up at a location she hasn't been to before. A few minutes later, as they were still driving, they get T-boned on her side of the car and their car gets wrecked. She gets out of the car and sits on the curb while waiting for an ambulance, and in that moment is when she realizes that this had all happened before. The cars are in the exact same position as they were in her dream. She was sitting in the same position on the curb as she was in the dream. She was even wearing the exact same outfit and shoes. It was the same location, same road, same goddamn everything. Like, damn B, if you wore this outfit in a dream about a car crash, shouldn't that have been like a dead giveaway? Like, maybe something may happen to me today. How did it take the car crashing and you getting concussed for you to actually remember the dream? I'm triggered. And finally, at number 1 is the tornado. So again, this one's from an anonymous Redditor who said he had a dream he was standing in his grandma's greenhouse, and then all of a sudden an alarm clock went off and he went to turn it off. But as soon as he did, the tornado siren started going off and the greenhouse exploded in a matter of seconds. He then woke up from his dream to an actual real tornado siren going off. The boy had fallen asleep at around noon, but when he looked outside, it was quite dark. He was like, how the hell did I nap for that long? But when he looked at the time, he realized it was only 3 p.m. and that's when he started shitting his pants. He went outside and saw that the clouds were moving really freaking fast. It was hailing, it was raining, it was just not a good time. It was the perfect setting for a tornado. Even the TV weather channel was freaking out and was naming places in the danger zone that happened to be near the boy's house. The boy sprang into action ASAP Rocky, got his grandma the hell out of bed and into the storm shelter, and their house was later completely destroyed with EF for intensity. Whew. Imagine if he didn't have that dream. Hopefully they would have still been safe. Hopefully the tornado siren going off would have been enough of a warning. And that's it for today's video, guys. I've been having really messed up nightmares lately myself, and I keep waking up at like 4 or 5 a.m. just drenched in sweat, so it's safe to say my sleep cycle has been shit recently. Caffeinate me, you guys. Either way, let me know what you guys thought of the list below and whether any of your dreams have ever come true. As always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!